we've suppressed fire. So fires, they happen naturally with lightning strikes in the summer. People also manage habitats with fire. But when we start developing in the St. Louis area and we build homes and roads, we actually don't want there to be fires. And so we work really hard to put fires out. Fires are really natural to ecosystems. And so when you have these ecosystems that are glades, if you prevent fire from coming into those ecosystems, they turn into a forest. A lot of people are interested in restoring glades. They're a unique ecosystem to the Midwestern United States. They house unique species. They're a biodiversity treasure. We are doing an experiment, and what we're trying to do is understand how to best restore these habitats. So we think size matters a lot, how big the restoration is in terms of how many species come back. And what we've done with our restorations is we are manipulating the size of the habitat. What you're looking at behind you is one of our largest, but we also think that shape might matter. If you look at this habitat here, what you see is the tree line that surrounds it. Well, that tree line creates shade. So you can imagine if you're a smaller habitat, not only are you a smaller amount of space for species to live, but you're going to have more shade. And so we think things like shade are edge effects. The other thing that happens is there might be a lot of animals like mice that live in the forest and come in to eat plants and eat seeds in the glade. And so if you have a smaller habitat, more surrounding forest, it's very easy for the mice to get to the entire habitat. So we have some circular ones like the one you're looking at here, and then we have other ones that are star-shaped, if you will. They're kind of flower-shaped, so they have lots of edges. So it's the same amount of area, but a different amount of edge. So we can really disentangle, is it really size or shape? The other thing that we're manipulating here as part of an experiment that we think might be really important to biodiversity is whether or not you add plant seeds to these habitats. And people typically don't add seeds. And the reason for that is that we hope that most of the plants and animals, if you create the habitat, will come in on their own. A lot of seeds are wind dispersed or animal dispersed, and so that they can fly in the wind into the habitat, or they can come in on the fur of animals into a habitat. And so a lot of the restoration projects that we see happening create the habitat and then hope the species will come. Some people call it the field of dreams, where if you build it, they will come. So if you just build a nice habitat, the organisms will make it. And we don't know how important adding species is, and how many more species you would get if you give some of these species a better chance of establishing, meaning you actually put them in place. What we're hoping to figure out is which of these things is the most important. And most of our manipulations have focused on plants, but we're also monitoring all the animals. And there's some really neat animals that live in these habitats as well, things like tarantulas and scorpions and snakes and a lot of rare grasshoppers. And there's bees. There's bees that are endemic to glades. They only live in glade habitats and nowhere else. And so we'll see how long it takes for those guys to find their way in. So we're really monitoring the animals well, but they're not part of the manipulation.